Alright, it's time to start getting ready for Rantoul. I don't have a whole lot to do. Mostly it's, or most of it is just getting stuff around. But I have to, this guy, we need to fix this right here. Because that would be a bad day if that decided to yeet itself. So, but I think that's the only issue we have here. Do that and give it a quick bath, and I also need to beef up my flag holder real quick. But I believe we gotta look over here. I think I have, as long as they're the same, and they look like they are on a 250 or on a 241. Well, actually, they ought to be the same because those wings came off of the discs that these came off of. So, we can steal this guy here, since it doesn't have a bearing in it. Yeah, we can steal one of those guys and just swap it out, because those, I don't know if they tempered them. I don't know what they got going on. If there's a little bit of a spring steel type deal going on with them, they're not just regular old mild steel. They're kind of goofy. They're kind of hard, and I'm worried if I weld it and put it back together, it's just going to crack right next to the weld, not knowing what kind of goofy alloy. If, like I say, you feel them and or you like hit them with a drill or a grinder, there's something going on there to make them tough. And I'm not sure how good they would take to welding. So we'll just swap it out since I got spare parts up the yin-yang for it. So it looks like I need a 15/16. Yep, 15/16 wrench, socket, impact. And then we'll drag it down to the house. And we'll replace that. Check the other ones. That's the only one that I remember being broke. I'm not going to wash it yet, because we're going to have a Shelly disc this probably tomorrow maybe. We had a really nice unexpected anywhere between 6 and 7/10 of rain, depending on where you were at yesterday, that just kind of popped up out of nowhere, which is awesome because we needed it. So give it a day to dry up a wee bit, so we're not smearing anything, and that ought to disc down really nice tomorrow. So let me go grab some tools. We'll pop that off. this first. I noticed I have one wheel bearing. Quiet. I got one wheel bearing. It's got a little bit of a chunk to it. Feels fine. It just needs tightened up, probably like half a turn. The other three are fine. So do that. Grease the wheels. Mess with my flag bracket. Huh. Okay. Oh wait, you can do this. Maybe. There we go. Okay, they ain't been in there that long. They shouldn't be that tight or that rusty. My biggest fear when doing disc blade, anything on a disc bearing, is that the wrench is going to slip and my wrist is going to eat the edge of one of these blades, and that wouldn't be fun at all. Okay, there's that. Now, go on there. Okay. Now it's going to be a matter of how much of a booger these bolts will be. Yeah, judging by the brake, that's been broke for a good long while. It looks like for the longest time it's only been a little sliver right here along the edge. It was actually holding on before it went all the way. I'm gonna wire brush. Yeah, that was broke for a long time, and then this one's starting. So, yeah, that wasn't gonna go much longer. But I'm gonna wire brush these bolts real quick before I put it all back together. That one doesn't look. That one looks fine. All right, that bracket swapped out. I'm honest, I checked all of them, but I'm honestly kind of surprised that of everything I took off that disc, that was the only thing that's broke, because that little 241 that I parted out was beat. I mean, to death. I ran that thing for a year, and it basically just disintegrated. And then I bought that 10-foot 252 that's sitting up there. Ran that for a while, and then Dad bought this after he bought the 1800, because this is the disc that was bought he bought this new with that, or did he buy this new with the 1955? Do you remember if this came? I know he bought that and a 5-bottom plow new. Well, it was a 4-bottom base with a 5th added, because on this hill you'd have to take it down to 4. But I think this disc was before the 1955, but maybe it was after he bought that. Anyway, the 1800 pulled this disc when the disc was brand new, so Dad bought it. And then we ran it until the iron was junk, and then that's when, well, the iron was when I brought it home. But we ran it till the iron was junk, and then that's when I decided I wanted a bigger disc. So I put the wings on it and all new blades, and that's when I went all the way through it. Because the story is Max got a deal on this tractor because it was a leftover 64, and he bought it in it was the spring of 65. It was a dealer leftover. I can't remember what month it was, but it might be written down in the manual. I've seen they still have the picture of the day it came home to the farm and they were unloaded off the truck. And there wasn't any, if I remember right, there wasn't any snow on the ground. But he bought the tractor, and because it was a leftover, somehow he got, I think if I remember right, he got a deal on the plow with the tractor or something like that. Took like not even a full flat to tighten it back up. I'd like to get another flat out of it, but it gets too tight too fast. There, I like that. We're gonna go with that. Alright, throw a new cotter pin in this, put it back together, grease the wheels, probably check the air in the tires. Alright, hubs are greased, air's good in all the tires, my bracket's fixed. So the last thing I want to do to get it show ready is fix my flag bracket that I made last time and didn't work out that great. Actually works fine, except for it would walk around sideways and fall over the edge, and then when it did, it would bend, which is why it's got this ink in it right here. So I think what I'll do, so that I don't have to remake the whole bracket, is just cut a piece of flat stock that'll weld to it and butt up against this side of the frame rail. That way it can't turn, and it'll give it some more rigidity in this area as well. And that should take care of it, because I mean, it's a single flag, a 1/2 inch bolt's going to be plenty. Just need to keep it from spinning. All right, we'll see if that makes any difference. It ought to. It's a lot more solid now. I never had an issue side to side. It was just front to, well, it never really had any issues front to back. It would just get loose and wiggle its way on around. So now that it can't turn, it should be good. Should be. My whole way in building it like that was I didn't have to drill any holes in the frame of the disc. There was already one existing hole there. I don't want to weld anything to the frame because I don't want to put any stresses in it that might crack it, because there's not really, for all intents and purposes, there's really not even any welds on this disc. There's the gang frames have some welds on them. Obviously the axle's got some welds, but other than that, this entire disc is all bolted together. And the steel, like I say, if the few things I have done with the steel on these disc frames, I don't know what it is, what kind of different alloy, but it's hard as a rock. So, well, it's almost like it's got a case hardening to it to make it tough but flexible, because obviously it's a disc. The frame needs to be able to flex, which is partly why it's bolted together. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So that's how come that flag bracket ended up the way it ended up, was because there was already conveniently a hole right there. I wish there was two holes, but there's not, and I don't want to try drilling a second one because that's not gonna be fun. You would probably need a carbide bit to do it without ruining a bunch of bits. So, with that being said, other than a bath, which we'll get after Shelly gets some time in front of it, should be ready to go. The cylinder on this thing does weep. The cylinder's been rebuilt. I can't remember if I've done it once or twice. We bought two cylinders at the same time for both, one for each disc. They both started leaking immediately, like first time out, first use. They both started leaking. Rebuilt the one on my disc first. It took, so it doesn't leak. Rebuilt this one. It still leaked the minute I put it back on after rebuilding it. It's just they were cheap Chinesium cylinders. Dad got a deal on them. And the tolerant, when we first rebuilt the one on mine, Dad was kind of irked, so he started going through and miking things and measuring tolerance, and the machining tolerances in these frickin' cylinders are so damn loose. And ironically, the place that he bought these through quit carrying these cylinders not too long after we bought them, for obvious reasons. So it's not worth trying to seal back up again. What's probably going to happen is that 3.5 by 8 that I got out of my uncle's, which I'm pretty sure is a cross. That one's probably going to get rebuilt and go on here, but until I get the time to do that, I'm either going to run this one, or if I get a wild hair, I might pull the one off of my disc and put on here. But we shall see. I mean, it doesn't leak terrible. And for what I'm going to do down at the show, probably just going to run it, give it a bath. You wouldn't know it unless I told you about it. So, anywho, so with that being said, we're done on this, and tomorrow we will probably work on the 1955. Really, all I've got to do to it is put the duals on, and I have a hydraulic coupler leak that I need to address. I'm hoping it's just the O-ring in the coupler itself, but I got a feeling it's one of the O-rings in the those are cam lock connect under pressure Pioneer couplers, and I got a feeling it's one of the O-rings for the little cam lock shaft. But we shall see. But I gotta hook it back up to. I gotta probably hook it up to chisel plow over there real quick, and because I can't remember if it's the top one or the bottom one that leaks. Then pull it off the tractor, come over here, tear it apart. Hopefully it's all standard crap inside there that we don't need to hunt down parts for. And then that'll be good, and just give it a quick bath. So, and then I guess I gotta probably, for real quick, put new belts on the little Moline garden tractor, because that's going to go down. So Shelly's got some wheels. If I had more deck space, I'd take old Junkyard Special down there, but with the tractor and the disc, don't have enough deck space. And they'd probably be pushing the weight. It'd probably be really hard to get the trailer to balance out right. Because in order to get it to ride decent, you'd probably almost have to pull the Super 55 up on front, put this in the center, and then the 1955 on the back, and you wouldn't have, I don't think you'd have enough deck space to get everything up there, get the ramps back down, and the trailer probably really wouldn't like it. So we'll just take the garden tractor again. So anyhow, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Alright, we're gonna get the old 1955 dug out today. Shelly's mowing the yard. Don't mind the slight miss. I got home and she's sitting in the yard, just sitting on the mower, and she gets this goofy grin on her face and she starts it, just black smoking and missing like crazy, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this is. For some reason it doesn't do it when it's cold, or like, not cold, but like reasonable temperature outside, I guess I should say. The choke will work its way out about yay far. But if it's hot out like, or if it's reasonable temperature, it won't. When it gets hot out like this, it'll work itself out about yay far if you're not paying attention, and then it'll start loading up with fuel and flood itself. It'll stay running, but it'll just start black smoking and make no power and have crappy throttle response. Well, it had done that to her, and it must have done it really bad, because she started it. It was like rolling coal. So I pushed the choke and started it up, got it cleaned out, but I think she might have partially fuel fouled the plug or something, because now it's got a little bit of a mist to it. So I'm not gonna do it right now because she's been mowing. It's hot and I don't want to burn my fingers and crap, but I'll have to probably clean the plug. Well, we got to pull this and the 150 out because the 19's back there. Alright, so it's this coupler leaking. I can't remember if it's the top or the bottom. The O-rings appear to be okay. So, let's go. And try to plug it into the chisel plow, because basically you plug a hose in and the minute you throw the lever it starts leaking. So let's just go down and plug something into it real quick. Pumpkins out of the garden and putting them over here along the woods. Because once they get going, they take over everything. They start growing into the beds, and it makes it very hard to keep the weeds out. All the implements here a week or so ago. It's finally dying down. Okay, it's the bottom lever. See that leak right there? It looks like it's coming out of the top where the lever goes through the body, so we'll have to pull the lever out and hopefully it's just a torn O-ring. I don't know if there's anything special in there or not. Alright, so let's get this off. Where can I set you? It's right here, is as good a place as any. I got the sear sorted out. Kelly had to stop for fuel, and so I popped the plug out, cleaned it, and it's still doing it. Shit took off, started mowing again, and it started to flood out again. I'm like, well, this is odd. So I went out there and messed with the carb a little bit. For some reason, the main jet had backed out like half a turn. Don't know why, because I haven't had to touch that thing in years. But screwed it in like half a turn-ish. Cleaned right out, quit missing. So that was an easy fix. Except for the way they have the engine shoehorned in that thing and where the carburetor's located, you almost lose your fingers trying to get in there to do any adjustment while it's running. But that's neither here nor there. I've still got all 10 digits, so. Oh crap, I forgot. I gotta bring a Torx driver out, take that cover off. Looking at them, both of these levers are wet, so just for the sake of making sure we don't have a leak later on, I'm just going to take them both over and do them both real quick. Probably throw new O-rings in where the nipples go into. So all I gotta do is get a couple of crescent wrenches, unscrew them from the hoses, and we're good to go. All right, I started working on the leaker, and the guy showed up to get a hose while Dad was taking care of him. I got this one rebuilt. It doesn't take much, but this is probably not, you can kind of, it's not going to show up good enough on camera. This one is all eroded out, like this whole, you split that down the center there, and this whole half is eroded out, and it's probably like half gone. You can kind of see it. Is it going to focus? No. Anyway, that was the leak for sure. And then these two O-rings, that's the one out of the barrel, and then the other. So these are my new O-rings. I need to do that one. So before they get mixed up, we're going to throw those guys away. And then, so to start this, we have to take this plug out. And then you gotta be careful because there's this retainer, or ball retainer and spring. You don't want to lose the spring. Then you take the ball out. And then we gotta take the screw out that retains the handle, which in this case is a T25 Torx. And they had thread locker on them, so they do come out a little tight. And then it takes a little bit of working to get the handle loose. And then that'll come off. And when I lay these parts off on my piece of paper towel here, so like see how this ring has got this step in it, and that has to go on like that. So when I lay it on my thing, or when I lay it on my paper towel, I'll make sure to lay it in the orientation that it sits on here. That's an easy one to tell, but then same thing. This is your lever stop so that it doesn't over travel. And that's got a step in it right here, so I'm going to lay that one over here like so. And then this pushes out the bottom. And there's going to be a little bit of a thunk because the plunger on this side is under tension. You don't want to have your finger in there, or it will get pinched. It won't get pinched hard, but it'll get pinched nonetheless. And these O-rings are also shot in the same manner, so I'm glad that I decided to just do both. They're all, looks like they've been through a sandblaster. They're all ate up around the outside. And then new ones go in. Being careful not to lose the guts out the back. And then you just reassemble it in reverse order. Alright, I got them all back assembled, came down here and hooked it back up just to make sure that it was functioning and there were no leaks. And it runs up and down. There's no leaks. We're all good, so we can go slap the duals on. All right, hydraulic leaks fixed. Duals are on. Just have to give it a bath, which I'll run it over to Mom and Dad so I can use the hot washer. And then the 19 is ready to go. So, but I gotta get this washed. I gotta get the disc washed. I think Shelly and I are gonna run up to the fair tomorrow night, have one last look around. And then, so yeah, this weekend will entail getting this thing washed, getting the disc washed. Gotta get my truck, or oil changed in my truck, rotate the tires, wash it. I have to get the gooseneck down by the shop, check the wheel bearings, grease it, check the lights, make sure everything's good to go on that. I have to get I want to get a new starter belt and drive belt and idler pulley on the Mini. And then that and the wagon have to get washed so that it's ready to go. The 1 ton luckily has already been cleaned up, and that's already had the oil changed in it not too long ago because Dad's been using it. So I don't have to worry about that. And then Monday we're gonna pick the camper up, get the generator picked up, start packing. And then Tuesday night we'll get the tractor and everything, or get the gooseneck loaded and ready to go. And hopefully by Wednesday morning about 7 o'clock ish we are on the road heading that away, because I like to be down there right around or a little after lunch their time, and that gives us plenty of time to get set up and bum around. And I got a couple buddies that are parts guys that are gonna be down there, and they're gonna get down there probably after we're down there, so I'm gonna go over and shoot shit with them, help them get set up. And so I don't know if you will see any videos this weekend. Actually, take that back. You're probably not going to see any videos as far as this stuff goes this weekend, because I want to just get on it, get it all knocked out. It's going to be a busy enough next 4 days. But I do want to take tomorrow night off, go back up to the fair, hang out for a little bit. So I do want to do that. There's a new quote-unquote video series I've been thinking about doing. That's gonna be Teeter, Lily, calm down. That's gonna be kind of a short set of videos. I think I might do the first 1 or 2 here this weekend to see what the reception is and see if it's something I want to continue doing. So you might see those, but that won't be anything. It will be farming related, but it will not be my farm or my equipment. It will be kind of a farm history related type of thing. So we'll see. I might, because those will be quick and easy to knock out and put up. So we might see. Might do that, maybe, if I get time. So this may very well be the last video you see of anything like this until after Rantoul, because we're gonna be busy. So there's that. Again, a reminder, the little meet and greet, get together, whatever you want to call it, will be Friday, like 4:30 to however long people want to stay. Friday night, or Friday evening, afternoon, whatever you consider that time of day, depending on where you're at the intersection of the runways. Just the 19 will be there, so wherever that's at, we'll be there. Again, if anybody, or if everybody can show up, let's just say 4:30. Let's plan on 4:30. If everybody that wants to come can get there close to 4:30 as possible, strictly because I'd like to get a group picture of everybody that shows up. I think it'd be kind of neat. And then the other thing I thought about after I did that video a week or so ago, whenever it was, anybody that's down there that's coming to it that has a piece of equipment, bring that. And I'd like to get them all parked around the 1955 and get a quote-unquote group tractor shot. I think would be kind of neat. So that's as far as that goes. So I think that gets everybody caught up on where things are at, what's going on, what to expect for the next week. The Rantoul videos will be pretty much the same format that I've done the last 2-3 shows, however many. First 20 or so odd minutes, half hour, whatever, of the videos will be, each day will be a certain section of the static display, try to get through all the colors throughout every video. And then the second half or whatever of the video will be the field demonstrations for that particular day. So you'll get a Thursday video, Friday video, Saturday video, Sunday video. The Sunday video is usually the shorty because we're usually out of there by about noon on Sunday. So yeah, that's what to expect out of the videos. Should, depending on what time we get back Sunday, the first, you might see a video Sunday night, maybe. Don't hold your breath, it will most likely be Monday, but there's a possibility. And then I'm gonna try to, I will get the rest of the videos knocked out fairly quickly. Might do multiple uploads. If I can get them all put together and edited quickly, they'll probably just get one big upload dump, or like 2 videos a day or whatever, and then everybody can watch them at their leisure to get them out of the way. Because we get back and it's going to be time to start working on those 2, not that one, the big green guy behind her. The 7300, it doesn't really need anything. It needs an oil change and greased and a good going over. The head is ready to rock and roll pretty much. There wasn't anything wrong with it when I parked it last fall, so that just needs a quick going over. So 7300 is gonna be quick. The 8700, I think I've got one main drive belt down to the hydro that I missed last year that I think has a split in it that needs replaced. And I gotta look at the grain pan because it's been kind of since I got it, and it might be time, especially with the amount of corn I'm gonna run through it this fall, hopefully, if we keep getting rain. It might be time to do the grain pan in it, which also shouldn't take long. And then I priced out a clutch, a double disc clutch kit for the 4150, and it's all bolt-in parts. If I get everything here to do it, that could probably be a pretty quick weekend job. So might try to get that done before we start, but we'll see where we're at for time and what the combines take. So, but that's the week we get back from Rantoul. We're gonna go pretty much jump straight into combines. So yep, that's what to expect out of the next couple weeks. So I think that gets everybody caught up. And yeah, so I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.